Yo, what's up? Mr. Mike here, Trucker Diary series. Back at it again. I figured out a certain structure on how I'm gonna do this, because you need structure in your life a little bit. A little bit of organization. I know we're humans, and I know we're chaotic, and we're essentially animals. We're creatures of the earth. I'm an earth being. You know, some of y'all ain't human. You know, especially some of you white people. But I'm not talking about that. I mean, some of you black people ain't human either. But that's neither here or there. This is another installment, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do them three times a week: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I think that's good. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes I wish you guys would give me feedback on what to do, but since you haven't, then, you know, I gotta do it my own. You know, pick up myself by the bootstraps. But anyway, it's hump day. Hump day. It's Wednesday, June 19th, and I'm heading to Orlando again. You know what I'm saying? The same routine, truck driving bullshit. But I hope you guys are doing well out there. You know, it's interesting. Life is interesting. Like living this life is interesting. I really think if we really just turn off everything, meaning turning off the TV, turning off your access to internet, you know, no Netflix, no YouTube, no anything, even though this is going to be released on YouTube. But I'm just saying, if we turn all those things off and really just use our cell phones as just like cell phones, and, you know, use it as communication between other people, and that's it. I think if we do that, I think our life experience would be a little bit different. Like, because most of the things that we watch or we listen to or, you know, play and constant having it on, it just, like, we fill our mind with a lot of noise, a lot of different noises, a lot of stuff, and our subconscious is constantly recording all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like my shows. I like Netflix. I like, you know, I try to catch up on things, and, you know what I'm saying? But everything essentially is going to be there. You know, I try to be fresh, especially if a certain TV show is lining up with the current events of today. I try to keep abreast with that. Dude, you need to get out the left lane, dude. But I think we turn all these things off and just take some time off away from it. I think we can really really allow some spiritual things to happen. We can really allow us to hear ourselves, because the majority of what we hear and what we listen to is from other places. It's from other mediums. But we don't listen to ourselves, our own voice, our own breath, and things like that. I think we should do that. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage you guys to do that. Every once in a while, just, you know, take a break from listening to this, because I'm just running my mouth. You know what I'm saying? But just do that, you know? But anyways, I'm just, whatever. There's some few things I want to talk about. Okay, I know I talk about Shenmue a lot. That's my favorite video game. If you haven't heard of Shenmue, just go fuck yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just don't even, whatever, you know? Because most of you guys out there who do play video games or consider yourselves a gamer or game head or whatever, you know, you probably haven't heard of Shenmue, and that's fucking ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And most of you gamers out there, you game out of just, you want self-gratification. You don't want to be, you know, in a story, or you know what I'm saying? You don't want to see the cutscenes. You want to skip through the cutscenes and get straight to the action. And a lot of action is usually somebody with a gun fucking up shit, destroying people or destroying places and or it just being a war and just retelling that whole bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And none of you really take time to like enjoy a story through a video game and enjoy an environment. You know what I'm saying? And so games like Shenmue are not gonna appeal to you because the first thing you're gonna do is the first thing you're gonna say is like, oh, it's too slow. You know, it drags on. But Shenmue is deliberately slow. It's deliberately like at that pace because you're in this world where you rely on people for certain information about certain things, and you can let your curiosity, you can use your curiosity to benefit from the game. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, going around talking to random people, random times of the day or night, and just enhancing the gameplay, enhancing the story to make it personal, to make it you. You know, it's not about just the objective. It's not just about the mission, or it's not about just getting points. It's about the experience. And most of you video games heads out there, you don't want to consider any of that. You just want to go straight to the action. There's times and places for that, because I play fighting games. Usually when I play them, you know, I want to get to the fighting, pick my character, pick a stage, and start playing. You know what I'm saying? But that's fighting game. That's what, you know, I like that. I like competition like that. But I do enjoy a beautiful story, and I like. That's why I'm a big fan of Shenmue. I played it years ago. I've been waiting for Shenmue 3 for a long time now, and hopefully we'll get it in November. Should be beautiful. We've got about 4 or 5 months now, so it is what it is. So, but shout out to Adam Koralik. He just released a YouTube video of his whole E3 experience, and he actually released one where he talked about how he was able to play Shenmue 3. Just sort of sweet talked his way in, which is it's an amazing story. I recommend you Shenmue fans, you know, check it out if you haven't. I'm sure you have. I think most Shenmue fans are kept up to date to what's going on with the release dates and other things that are happening around the Shenmue community. Shout out to y'all. I love y'all. Shenmue 500K, Phantom Rivenstone, Shenmue Dojo, and all those other ones. You guys are great. You know, I love visiting the page. I love I love just, you know, logging in on Facebook and seeing what you guys are saying. You know, I like that. So keep that going. But Adam Koralik's story was very cool. He got to play it. He only got to play it for 15 minutes. But I mean, I would love to play like a demo. You know what I'm saying? At any point. I can't wait to get my hands on it and just see what it feels like. And Adam said it feels like Shenmue. Like, that's what I love. That it feels like those old games, you know. And it's not about the graphics. I've watched some negative reviews about, you know, people looking at the new Shenmue 3 trailer, the latest one, and then, you know, there are people like, oh, the graphics are blah blah, and it's like people are so. I mean, aren't we over graphics? Yes, we like to see visually appealing things. There's games out there that are visually appealing, but the gameplay fucking sucks. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, what's the real good aspect of playing the game is the gameplay, because when you're into a game, you're focused on the game. Like, if whatever you're doing, whatever your mission is, you're focused on that mission. You're not focused on how pretty it looks. You like a game because it appeals to you, but most people who review the trailer, these negative reviews about, oh, the games are stuck in the Dreamcast graphics. It's beyond Dreamcast. Are you serious? It's beyond PS2, PS3, and, you know, it's up to PS4 standard. It's not the greatest polished like looking, but the game looks amazing. Like the minor details of the game, every step, you know, the footprints and all these other things, and the environment, how things flow. When the wind blows and then the sun setting, the sunlight, the lighting is great. I mean, the essentials, the details, the minor details are in the game. So, fuck all you guys with all these graphic, whatever. But anyways, I'm just, you know. But yeah, I'm glad to hear, Adam Koralik saying that the game is, it feels like Shenmue. I love that. So, can't wait for it to come out. But that's it. That's all I'm gonna talk about for Shenmue. I know some of you guys kind of like, oh, what is he talking about again? Blah, blah, blah. But in other news, a lot of things are going on in NBA. Like it seems like nowadays. Like Toronto Raptors just won the NBA championship. They beat Golden State, took them 6 games, but they did it. They beat Golden State, and first time ever, a Canadian professional basketball team has won a champion. And ever since then, they won last Thursday, or like over a week ago. And it seems like the day after they won, like the NBA news just shifted to all these trades that are happening. Anthony Davis is signed with the Lakers, the trade deal, and so the New Orleans Pelicans get 3 people. They get Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, I believe, and somebody else, can't remember. But they get three people for Anthony Davis. So you got Anthony Davis with LeBron, so that's a story, and then New Orleans Pelicans get 3 of the Lakers, plus with the first round draft, they're gonna get Zion Williamson. So Zion Williamson is gonna, play with some, a little bit of seasoned players. So that'll be cool. It's cool to watch. And then so you got Kyrie Irving wants to leave, and they're talking about him joining the Lakers, which is really and Chris Paul and James Harden are sort of having a falling out or something. And it's just like all these different things are happening right after the championship. It seems like Toronto Raptors didn't even win, or we're so like Toronto Raptors winning the championship is already like old news now. You know what I'm saying? Like they just had a parade a few days ago. But it seems like that's old news. And it seems like we're so quick to move on, especially when like the unpredicted outcome happened. Like Toronto wasn't predicted. Everybody predicted Golden State is gonna win. Toronto wins, shocks everybody. And now we're so quick to move on to all these different trades. And it's like the NBA season is over. Like why we're so, and like I hate that with football too. Like after the football season, you have all this talk about who's going where, and it's like, just wait, people, just wait, okay? There's other shit to be like entertained by, other ways to get, there's other ways to get entertained. We don't have to lock our entertainment on just sports, you know what I'm saying? Just fucking branch out and read some other shit. I don't know, but that's what that is. And I just feel like it's just too much. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. I've been walking, the last few days. My goal right now is to walk every day, and having that a part of my lifestyle. I know we've been having a lot of rain lately, but I've been walking at night, like late afternoon, evening type thing. I have a walk, at least like a mile or so. So that's what I'm doing. I want to walk every day. I miss doing that. I miss, ever since I've been driving, I haven't been walking that much. Ever since I've been driving, truck driving, I haven't been walking that much. But I used to walk all the time. Every place that I've lived in, in my adult years, I walked everywhere. You know, when I was in the Navy, I walked. You know, when I walked, you know, when I was off work, I would, you know, go for a walk or something. And sometimes it eventually went into running, a little bit of jogging, light jogging, and then jogging. But I loved walking. I love, you know, having my music, you know, having my headphones or whatever, and just listening to my favorite music. And I would just do that. And even after the Navy, you know, living in Jacksonville, you know, my second home. Even before the Navy, back in Panama City, my mom loves to walk. I used to walk with her a lot, you know, and so walking was a very big part of my life, and I just abandoned it ever since I became a truck driver. And I realized that last night. And I'm walking and I'm listening to my music, and it felt good, you know what I mean? And I don't know why I abandoned it. I think it's because I got caught up in this truck life schedule where you have to plan, you know, you have to plan how your day is going to unfold, how you're going to, you know, when you're going to wake up, when you're going to drive, and then, you know, you got to factor in, you know, the stops of, you know, going to, you know, to get fuel and all these things. And I just abandoned that entire enjoyment of life that I do, which is walking. And I love walking at night. I mean, I love walking any time of the day, but I know Florida's fucking hot, so the best time to walk is, you know, usually at night, if it's not like raining or whatever. But walking is yeah, I love doing it. And as I'm walking last night, I just remembered, why did I abandon this? Even when I was broke before I became a truck driver and my finances were amuck and I owed all this money, I still went out to walk. Even if I'm just walking to the corner store or something, or just walking, I just walked around. And I used to, you know, walk and listen to music, or if I didn't have music, I just want to listen to the environment, listen to the birds chirp, dogs barking and shit like that. And just sort of you can sort of engage with people on that front, you know what I mean? And just sort of inspire. I used to talk to myself saying, yeah, I'm gonna get this house. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get this house. I used to say stuff like that. Or I used to just pray, or I used to just speak to myself and, you know, try to motivate myself in a way, whatever I'm doing. But walking, it was a very spiritual, good thing for me. It was a very, very spiritual thing for me. And I just abandoned it, you know, but I'm not abandoning it anymore. So I hope you guys do that. That'll be a big part of it'll be a big part of helping me with diabetes, you know, walking every day. That'll be a big part. And it's not hard. You know, I'm not running, I'm not, you know, putting pressure on my knees and joints or whatever. I'm just naturally walking. And when I'm listening to music, I love walking to the tempo of the music, which is a good thing. So I listen to a lot of like instrumentation, like beat making. I listen to a lot of Fat John, some Flying Lotus and others. So a lot of their beats are sort of medium tempo to low tempo, and so I would just walk to the beat, and if the tempo was slower, I would take longer strides. It would help me take longer strides, and that's better. You know what I mean? So I think it's better. I mean, I'm not a personal fitness. I don't know anything about anything, but I know walking helps. So, and I just abandoned it, and I just realized the importance of just walking. So I'm going back to doing that. You know what I mean? So, but I hope you guys are living our healthiest life, living your healthiest life. I hope you guys are, you know, exercising, doing something routinely in your life that will help your body, and then help your mind, and then, you know, help you overcome things. You know what I'm saying? So having a sharp mind like that. I hope you guys are doing it. You know what I mean? So, and another thing too is like, I fucking hate paying on student loans. Like I really need to fucking take care of it, and I don't want to. I really don't want to, but I'll do it. I'm doing it. I have a plan that I'm gonna implement here and tackle this shit. Because I made a plan before. I made a deal with them before, and for some reason their policy changed, and I had to redo it, and I didn't want to do it, and so I just left it alone. But they call me every single day, you know, Navient, you know, pay your shit. And I'm like, no, motherfucker. So But I need to fucking do that because it'll help my credit, and it really would. My future would benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta play this fucking game. It's one of those things that I'm slow to do because I don't agree with it, and I'm too fucking stubborn to like compromise. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't make a lot of money. I don't, and so whatever I make, I'm gonna keep it and spend it on the shit that I like or that I want, instead of like bullshit. Because I think student loans is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But that student loan essentially is tied up to my credit. And so credit is not bullshit. Credit is, I mean, the theory of it is bullshit, but I understand that credit, it is credit. And so that's what we have in this fucking country is credit. And so I don't have good credit. So I have to change that. I just got to change it. And I'm just coming to grips with it. And, you know what I'm saying? I fucking hate doing this shit. But it's like, but at the same time, it is kind of, it is a little, it's a little assholey, I guess, because there are people there's a lot of people in more financial difficulty than I am. I know there's a plethora of people like that. And if they had the money that I was making, they would take care of the stuff like right then and there, but me, I just drag it along, and it does more harm than good. So, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's just I'm just too stubborn to fucking, And it's one of those things. I just gotta grow up. It's a thing. It's a shitty thing. Student loans is a shitty thing because initially, you think if I have to pay the student loan, or if I have to pay to go to college, wouldn't that college help me, make sure I have the job that I got a degree for? I went to film school. I have a bachelor's degree in film. I went to the Art Institute of Jacksonville, and I'm a truck driver, and I'm doing this, and it's like none of those skills are applied, except for maybe editing, because I edit. I put each episode in the editing software. It's not like the state-of-the-art editing software like Final Cut Pro or anything like that. I use a regular ass editing software that's free, that's downloadable on the internet, and I just use and export it and give it a name and make sure my picture's on it. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? And so it's that it's simple to me because I can edit pretty well. And it's a simple program, so it's like, boom, okay, I can knock this out. But that's all the skill that and I'm not getting paid for this. So it's like I have a shitload of student loan debt, and that's because me just following society's, the deems used to do, go to college and do all this and go to the military. I did all that, and but I'm a truck driver. And it's not like truck driving is the hardest job. This job is fairly easy. You just got to know how to drive and stay alert. And you got to deal with traffic, traffic is very unpredictable. That's what it is. So, but it's a lot of time away from your friends, away from your family, away from your loved ones. It's a lot of that involved from it. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm always in the truck. I live in the truck. Occasionally I'll go in a hotel to stretch my legs. But I haven't done that in a long time. So I'm using the time that I have off to either spend time with my son, to spend time working on a project, or spending time with my girl, and that what I'm saying, and just my time off is very limited. So I only use it for you know what I'm saying? It's rarely used for like rest and relaxation. So but anyway, that's life, But going back to student loans, it's just I keep thinking about that. It's like this is bullshit, and I go back to I'm not paying this shit. I go back to my stubborn my stubborn nature to be like, fuck it, this is my money, I'm keeping it. And so because there's no initial punishment for not paying your student loans, but it does hurt your credit. That's I guess you can see that as a punishment, but it's not punishing you. Like none of my licenses or anything is compromised because I'm not paying student loans. So on that front, I just don't pay it, but I want to deal with this and build my credit and do some things I've been wanting to do. So, but that's what it is. I fucking hate it, and most of you guys, or if you're listening out there, you got student loans, you can relate. You know what I'm saying? So, I fucking hate doing that shit though. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well out there. I'm on 95 South, headed to Orlando. I gotta stop and get fuel here in less than an hour. I gotta stop at this Love's fuel stop to get some fuel to, fuel up my truck and keep going. So, but recently I heard on the news that televangelists. Oh man, as soon as you hear the word televangelist, it's like, yo, really? That's what y'all doing right now? That's what's hot in the street right now? But these televangelists, people like Kenneth Copeland, Jesse Duplantis, Creflo Dollar, which I think I found out that Creflo Dollar changed his name. He changed his last name to fucking Dollar. Like, these dudes are all about money, and you guys are giving it to them. How the fuck are you guys? Like, I was raised in the church, and I was under that sort of like spell, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Not thinking anything other than this is the way it should be. Not thinking, you know what I'm saying? Just being Jesus, God, church is the only way to salvation and living your best life. It's going through church, living that lifestyle. I have since been removed from it, but these televangelists, Kenneth Copeland, and first there was a couple of weeks ago he was on was it CNN, one of those news shows where he referred to people as demons. As he was explaining why he has to have a private jet, like $60+ million fucking jet, and he's about to get another one, like a third or fourth one or some shit. And these jets are like, they're like millions, like multi-millions of dollars per jet, and he's about to get a fourth one. And a couple of weeks ago he was explaining why he has to have a private jet. He doesn't want to fly with the people because he said I don't want to fly with those demons, people who are like, he was like saying like drug infested and doped up and and he referred to them as demons. And the reporter, the journalist was asking him, why do you refer to them as such? And he sort of clapped back on him. I didn't say that, blah blah blah. He's like really yelling it. And but recently he had some show with Jesse Duplantis, this other televangelist. They were talking, and Duplantis was talking about how God told him he should get a fourth jet. He should get a fourth jet because God was like, he was flying somewhere, flying to one of his whatever, flying to one of his engagements or whatever, and he said God spoke to him while he was on a plane and asked him, is this it? This is all you want? And he was just saying, he kind of struck him like, what? And he said God asked him, this is all you want? This is it? And basically he was like, Jesse Duplantis said, God didn't want me to settle, some on the lines of, God didn't want me to settle with just these jets. Like, I need to get a fourth one. I need to get a fourth jet. And when after God spoke to him, he stood up in the middle of the flight the pilot of the flight asked him, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need anything?" He's like, "No, I'm just praying. I'm just praying so you can go back. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do." And so God bestowed him that he needed another jet, another private jet. And it's like, what? I don't understand. I was raised in the church, and I was raised in a church that were very, you know, money hungry. They were just, you know, keep giving, give. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't have the aspirations to own a private jet and doing all these things, but they did go overseas. You know, they did have they did go to other places overseas and did some evangelist work. You know, it wasn't like televised, but they did, you know, travel a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it's on the people, the regular citizens, the hardworking people's dime, basically. But it wasn't to the extent of these guys, these Jesse Duplantis and Creflo Dollars and this particular Kenneth Copeland. And Jesse Duplantis was talking about his experience in his private jet. He was talking about it with Kenneth Copeland, and Kenneth Copeland was like, "Yeah, you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that in a regular plane because people think you're crazy jumping, you know, standing up and praying. You know what I mean? And so that was the reason. That was the reasoning. That was their justification of like them having a private jet, so they can fly exclusively and get straight to where they need to go. And it's like, why do they have so many people just giving to them? These guys are living better than presidents, better than kings and prime ministers. They're living better than these. You know what I'm saying? And it's on these hard-working citizens, people like you and me. It's on their dime. They constantly get, and it's legal because they're just giving them the money. You know, and it's like, why are you guys doing this? You know, and that has nothing to do with Jesus. That has nothing to do with God. Jesus never, you know, asked his followers to, hook me up with the stagecoach, with the best ships. No, he just walked. They just walked. They walked. They went from place to place to preach to God. Jesus just walked. That's all they did. They walked from place to place, talking to people. You know what I'm saying? Come join us, man. We're cool, man. You know, and that's what he did. That's all he did. He didn't ask for all this stuff, so it's not consistent with the Bible, with the Christian Bible. It's not. I don't care what you guys say. It's not. It's fucking not, man. And you guys are just blindly following these guys, these human beings, and they're not doing shit for you. They're not. They don't care about you. They just care about your dime. And they're just gonna, they polish them. They polish themselves up. They have the best suits, the best rides, the best, you know, everything that you can ever ask for. They have it because of you, because you're giving it to them. You're giving it to them. You're giving your hard-earned money, and you're giving it to a person who hardly works at all. They just walk around and talk shit for like, you know, a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? And they just sit around, watch the choir and watch all these people play beautiful music, and he gets his check and he bounces, and that's it. They're very seldom about helping people. They're very reluctant about helping people, you know, and all these private jets they have, they don't do like tours of, you know, having you come along with sort of, they don't do that shit. It's their private jet. That's what they want, and you guys give it to them. And it's terrible, and it's horrible. It really, I mean, a lot of people who are, you know, a lot of people don't believe in anything. They don't believe in Christ. They don't believe in, you know, it drives people away. Like, if you're trying to get people to join your religion, join your belief, you're not helping with that shit. Because people see right through that, especially people who grew up in a hustling type of lifestyle. Most of us have. You know what I'm saying? They see right through that shit. And it's bullshit. And it's like, you guys are helping these guys get rich, and you're not getting help. Joel Osteen was reluctant to open his church when that hurricane came through and hit Houston. He was reluctant. Like, it took pressure, all this pressure from social media to like, all right guys, you can come in for a little bit. And he was uncomfortable the whole time. He was thinking about like, damn, I gotta clean this shit. I don't want all these people to think that they can stay here for the rest of their lives. You guys gotta fucking move on. You know what I'm saying? And cause I wanna be here on Sunday and get my money on Sunday. These guys are blatantly just taking money, or not taking, or just, they're after your money. That's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, when my dad's a preacher. When my dad preached, he talks about what the church is supposed to do, like help people, give to the needy, give to the poor. You know, and my dad was all about that. He's not a pastor. He doesn't run a church. He never has. He's been a part of churches, you know, just like I have, being part of different, you know, he's a minister. He's part of the staff. But when he preaches, he talks about those things. He talks about what, you know, giving, you know, why we're not giving. But these televangelists, these people, man, they just, all they're doing is asking for your money. And you guys are constantly giving it to them. They're not doing anything to help you. They're not doing shit to help you. They're on TV and that's it. They're just taking your money. These guys are living like superstars. They wear suits every day. They just sit. They have their TV shows in their house, in parts of their houses. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you give them that money. Creflo Dollar knows it, and then it's almost like Creflo Dollar is kind of like, he admits it. He almost admits it. Like, it's blatant in your face. Like, yo, I'm out here for your money. I'm gonna say all this bullshit, and I'm gonna say it in a way that's gonna make you say amen, make you say praise God, and you're gonna keep giving him money. There's videos of him. There's like a bunch of like cash on the stage of the sanctuary where he preaches, and he's walking around just kicking the cash. He has so much money. He's literally rubbing it in your face. He just, and you guys are constantly going to, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I think most likely there's probably a lot of mental health problems that people will go to church. And there's probably a lot of that. There's probably a lot of different instances where, you know, they don't know anything else other than that. And it's I hate to see it. It's prevalent in the black community because we still go to church. But it's still like, it's terrible just to know that these guys are literally just after your money. They don't care about you. They don't care about your salvation. Like, if you stop going to church, if you stop going to their church, you know, they're not trying to go out and, you know, it's ridiculous. That's all I gotta say. And I used to go to the church. I've been to very affluent churches before, and I feel uncomfortable. I feel like, wow, this is, I mean, but I'm not saying all these guys are bad, because there's some real good people and there are some real good Christians out there. You know, I don't consider myself a Christian anymore. I don't follow that. I believe in God, but I don't go to the church. I don't live that lifestyle anymore. You know, I smoke weed. I have sex a lot. I do all these things. I curse a lot. You know what I'm saying? I don't follow that lifestyle no more. You know what I'm saying? But I know I have good friends that are Christians who do care, who do understand, who are very wise and smart. And they're very, you know, they have a good intellect. They, you know what I'm saying? There are people out there. There's some Christians involved in politics. You know what I'm saying? They try to do God's work through through their medium, through their skills, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to them, you know what I mean? And but these televangelists, man, they really give Christianity a bad name. You know, churches, you know, it's ran like a business. Most people start churches because they know the law. They know, like, you know, they don't have to pay taxes on that. So it's kind of like, if your church is good and you have a lot of people, you got a lot of people coming, you're gonna get a pretty good paycheck. So, but that's what it is, man. Most of these guys are not after your salvation; they're just after your money, and they're gonna do whatever they can to put on a great show so you can give them the money. They're gonna speak well. They're going to, but essentially saying the same thing. You know what I mean? Very rarely you're gonna go to a church and be like, okay, you know, that sermon it spoke to me, but that rarely happens. All the times you go to church, it rarely happens, because you know it's in the Word. If you read the Word, if you read the Bible, you know, every day or have it a part of your life, you know it's already in there. And if you read it again, you know, different parts of your life, you're gonna get something else out of it. You know what I'm saying? You don't need someone else to tell you that. That's what I'm saying. Like, the church, like, stops people from living their own life, to me. You know, they depend on messages. They depend on, hopefully this will change my life. You know, people, it's ridiculous. So, but these televangelists, man, they're after your money, and not all of and it doesn't have to be a televangelist. It could be your local whatever. They could be after your money too. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and I'm not, you know, if you go to some people have to go to church. Some people, I know some people who say that you know, if I don't go to church, I'm most likely gonna do some horrible shit and go back to my old ways, you know, whatever. And so if that's the case, then if church keeps you from doing bad shit, yeah, you need to go to church, you know. But it ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. That's all I'm saying. It's just ugh. But if you go to church and if you live that lifestyle, you know, God bless you. Power to you. I don't hate you. I don't, you know, I just don't do it anymore. So that's all I'm saying. So, but yeah, I hope you guys are living, you know, other than that, I hope you guys are living your healthiest lifestyle. That's pretty much what I got to say about that. Okay, what else is going on in the zeitgeist? You know what I'm saying? What else is going on out here on the streets? You know, a lot of times I listen to a lot of music, and I've been listening to some of Tyler, the Creator's some of his older works when he started out, like the Wolf album. Fucking dope album, man. Shout out to Tyler, the Creator. You know what I'm saying? Dope dude. You know, dope MC, very honest, very expressive, and you know, he's entertaining. The dude. To me, he comes off as like a punk hip hop dude, but I don't think that's the case. I think the dude is hip hop. I really, you know, he spits. He's honest. He talks about his life. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's very, very good about that. You know what I'm saying? And so I dig him. I dig Tyler, the Creator. So shout out to him. I mean, I've known him all along. I listened to his. I remember seeing a video, seeing him for the first time. I saw his video, and I'm searching for the name of it, but it's basically him in a white background, and I think he was sort of like dissing B.O.B. and others. But I remember thinking, wow, this dude is very articulate in his words. I was like, this dude is dope. But I never got his music. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I'm listening to it now. I think a good thing about me is that a good thing about what I have now is Google Music, so I can go and just listen to anything that was available on it. So a lot of times I just whatever artist that I sort of passed over or I didn't get into the hype, I'm listening to them now. Like I regret not, you know, listening to Amy Winehouse when she was popping, because I love her music, absolutely love her music. I listened to, I think she only had 2 albums and the rest were like, you know, remixes and live shows and stuff like that. But listening to both of her albums, I was like, yo. I think when she came out, I was still in the military, and every like when I was in the military, when I was in the Navy, I was in the Navy from 2001 to 2005, and I was really not paying attention to what was popping at the time, because I still had my own shit. I was still collecting a lot of gospel hip hop. I was still just solely focused on that back in the day. I really was. I was just focused on when, you know, the Grits next album, or Mars Ill, or the Percussions. I was getting into the Percussions and LA Symphony and Lightheaded and all these other guys. I used to follow them religiously. I really did. You know, when it gonna drop the next shit? Pigeon John, all those guys. You know what I'm saying? I would just sit and wait. I was in my own little music world, and I still have my Erykah Badu's, my Jill Scotts and things, like people like that. I love them. I still have them. But when I was in the Navy, I just had my own music. I didn't pay attention to what was happening around me, or pay attention to what was popping at the time. I was just in my own little musical world, and I was digging deep in underground music, you know, even in the gospel world, and then it branched out to other underground hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So there's a plethora of artists that probably no one knows that I've collected. You know what I'm saying? And so everything that was popping, you know, was and Amy Winehouse throughout like the early I want to say 2003, 2004. 2003 was her first album, and during that time, you know, she was popping and stuff like that. But I wasn't paying any attention. I thought of her name. I assumed that she was part of that like teeny popper, Barbie doll bullshit, chick music, pop music shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I assumed she was part of, and I was dead wrong. And I mean I wish I could, you know, rest in peace to her, and you know, but man, I love her. I love her music. I wish she was still around. I wish she was still alive, of course. But yes, I love her music. Brilliant artist, brilliant musician, very good singer, beautiful singer, and I just love listening to her. So now she's part of my music rotation now. You know, every once in a while I would just pop her in now and just listen to her. So shout out to her, rest in peace. You know, but yeah, I just looked over her, and I'm not doing that. So with this Google Music, I'm just trying to be plugged into good artists, and just because, like, I just have a problem with people just latching on to popularity. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of people latch on to popular trends. People like something because someone else like it, and I stick in that, and that's sort of like assume everybody does that, and it's not true. Like, people grow up, and if something's if something's really good, people will go to it. Like really good artists, popular people will sort of latch on to it. And if it doesn't make it, then it doesn't make it. Of course, there are a lot more talented people who never see the spotlight, and they never get, you know, recognized as a really truly great artist. I know that, and I know like so many of those. But just because popular people like something doesn't mean I don't have to like it. And I trap myself in that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's been a part of my life. I like things that are obscure. You know, I said that way early on when I started. I like things that are not popular. I just do. Because the best of the best, what people know, is not a true representation of what is. You know, of what is great art, or what is great music, or what is, you know what I'm saying? Because I know there's something more. There's somebody out there who's greater than what the popularity knows, but they're not popular. You know what I'm saying? And so, since I've thought about that, my whole fanhood is latched on to unpopular people who are just great artists. And so, you know, I do that with not just music. I do it with movies, video games. That's why I'm a big Shenmue fan. Shenmue is not a household name when it comes to video games. You know what I'm saying? It's not one of those games, but I love the game. So stuff like that. It's just a part. I guess, I don't know. It's part of my personality. I don't know. I don't think it's a flaw. I don't think it's a thing against me, or it's just what that's just what it is. So but anyways, so yeah, I'm sort of using Google Music right now to, like, there's some artists out there who are sort of popping, and they actually have skill. I'm you know, I'm gonna see what they like, you know, see, you know, listen to their music, you know, everything is digital and everything is available. So, you know, and I pay for this fucking service, so I might as well dig deeper, go farther down, and not just, you know, current stuff, like old shit. I love Bill Withers, I love Marvin Gaye, so I'll go back and listen to them. So, but I love technology in that front, being able to access. So, but anyways, I hope you guys are doing well out there. It's about I got about 18 miles before I go to this truck stop to get fuel here. But you know, I think the listeners are slowly, very slowly but surely, sort of listening. I'm getting, I think the most views I have is the one I did about mangoes, what you can do with mangoes, because I talked about how mangoes help you eat pussy. It helps you eat pussy, like, because mangoes are so, like, if you, like, eat around the seed, you suck around the seed, it, like, your tongue, you use your tongue a lot, you know what I'm saying? So in turn it helps you eat pussy. And so that's male or female, you know, because, you know, women eat pussy too, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to the lesbians out there, you guys, you know, great people. I love y'all. I love watching y'all on pornography. But even those who don't do porn, they're in a relationship and they love each other. Hey, shout out to y'all. But mangoes will help with y'all too, so eat a mango. But you know know what I'm saying. So I did an episode. That's the most views. I think it had like 14 views. That's the most views I have. Sorry, I'm not in the hundreds yet. I'm not in the thousands yet. You know what I mean? So, but I think if I spread out these episodes like I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I think that'll give it some time to sort of give it some air. Because when I first did it, I did it every day, which was, you know, and then I ended up not putting out every episode that I recorded, and so that became a problem. And so it's like, let me structure that a little bit. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be Trucker Diary series. Yeah. And I'm a little, you know, I had a discussion with my baby's mom. I wanted to take my son to Panama City. I wanted to take my son to Panama City like next week, just for a couple of days, 4 or 5 days. But she was saying that, she was telling me that, you know, my son is artistic, of course, and like being in a new environment, it could overwhelm him. You know what I'm saying? You have to sort of ease him into stuff. Like, I haven't seen him in a while. And all of a sudden I want to take him to another city. It could be much for him. You know what I mean? He's used to being with his mom. He loves visiting his grandmother, and just time away from that is, that's his place, his happy place, is his grandmother's house, his grandparents. So yeah, I think, I don't know if it probably, I don't know what just happened. Gosh, I hate when the audio clips like. Anyways, yeah, I had a discussion with my baby. I'll start it over. I had a discussion with my baby's mom about my son. My son is autistic, and I was wanting to take him to my hometown, Panama City, because a lot of my family hasn't seen him yet. And but he's autistic, and it's basically like I haven't seen him in a while, and like it would be sort of overwhelming to. I haven't seen him in a while, and all of a sudden I'm taking him to my hometown, to a different environment. And Panama City is not in the best state. It just survived a crazy storm last year, and so he's yeah, it would be, and so I started thinking about him more, what I'm saying. Of course I want my family to meet him, and I'm not trying to keep him, what I'm saying. I want my family, because he's family. I want all of my family to see him, and to to spend time with him, and to meet him for the first time. And so, but I had to check my ego to be like, okay, it's not about me. I'll take him there when he's ready. What I'm saying? When he's ready. He's still not 100% used to me. He loves to spend time with me. He loves to play with his dad, and go doing spending time with me. He loves bowling and stuff like that. He loves doing that, but he doesn't see me every day, so he doesn't have that comfort yet. So to drag him to another place he could have a breakdown. Sometimes he would, if something's too overwhelming or overstimulating, he's sort of like, he doesn't, you know what I mean? So, and seeing all these people who want to meet him and see him, it could be overwhelming for him. So I just got to think about that, and just hold off, and just hold on. It's okay. He's 9 years old, but it'll be there. Don't force it. So it's one of those things. But I hope you guys are doing well. I'm gonna stop it right now, because I think hopefully I didn't lose my other take here, because the app froze up in the middle of my recording. So I hope it didn't delete that last take. But so if it didn't do that, I can splice these two together and they'll still be there. But I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for listening. Hopefully it'll be more listeners out there, more views. But take a listen, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I love you. Thank you. This is the Trucker Diaries series. This is Mr. Mike. I love you. Peace.